Needle in a haystack. It's a good name for a business like ours. Detective agency. Private investigators. We look for things. People, documents, evidence, all kinds of things that are hard to find. That's Tess. Tess Donatello. She's my partner. We met in an adult education class. It was called Buying a Condominium. After the class, she bought a condominium. I haven't gotten around to it. Tess is smart. Criminology major, MBA, unbelievable researcher. She's a real sweetheart, too.
You're giving me the creeps with that look. And don't you have any work to do?
Me? I'm David Gaynor. After college, I went to police academy. Yeah, it's weird. I spent 6 years on the force. Then I figured out I don't like hierarchies. Anyway, Tess and I discovered we were both sick of our jobs. We both wanted more independence. We both liked puzzles and takeout food. One thing led to another, and...
Did I ever say that this would be a glamorous line of work?
She did. She was wrong. Most of our jobs are pretty small. Small, not very costly, but labor-intensive with a capital L. So we keep busy. Some days can be very interesting. Today is not one of those days, but you never know what's around the corner. After all, we are a detective agency.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Andorra.
And I'm Heather Gray. Later on the 5 o'clock news, Health Report looks at high levels of salt in your food, where you least expect it.
In our top story, a security guard and 2 hostages were wounded today during a robbery at the Institute for Savings in Charlestown. Witnesses say 2 armed robbers wearing masks burst into the bank at about 12:30. They forced everyone in the bank to lie on the floor.
The security guard, 58-year-old John Faludi of Squantum, was shot in the arm and shoulder. A bank customer was also wounded. Mr. Faludi remains in City Hospital. Karen Paiuta was treated and released. The 2 robbers escaped with about $3,000. Police are still interviewing witnesses.
Only 7 months after the KKS company opened its new manufacturing facility in Newton, 25% of it was destroyed by fire this afternoon. Fire companies from 3 neighboring towns finally extinguished the blaze. There were no injuries reported. KKS estimates that approximately $750,000 in damage was done. They hope to be up and running in about 6 weeks. The police suspect arson.
There's good news for the city shoppers. City Council passed an ordinance to remove parking meters in several business districts throughout Boston. Local business owners supported the move, saying that would make it easier for customers to patronize neighborhood establishments. The customers like it too, said one frustrated Dorchester patron as she ran out to stuff coins in the meter. It's about time we got a break.
Well, there was no break in the weather today. Rain and gloomy skies continued. Today's highs were in the low 60s inland and high 50s near the coast.
Will the 3-day forecast show any improvement? Jamie will have details later on in the broadcast. Coming up, sports. And in Health Report, do you know how much salt is in the food you eat?
This is my favorite part of the job. After we track down the husband, the will, the car, the key to the safety deposit box, well, then we get to track down the money. Our money. Sometimes the clients just want us to go away. They don't realize the best way to get rid of us is to pay us. Good morning, George Sander, please. This is David Gaynor. Needle in a haystack. Needle in a haystack. You'll know why. He's out, I see. I'll try again later. This is Julia Johnson for Mr. Sander. It's personal. Thank you. Georgie? It's David Gaynor calling about your bill. Hello? Hey, hello?
You won't believe this. Actually, you will believe it. The case is continued again. 4 hours in court, and I never testified. It takes us 3 weeks to get the evidence and 6 months to tell the court about it. Why is that? David?
Sanders gonna stick it to us.
No. Really?
He's avoiding my calls. Oh, and Yankee Contracting needs another 60 days to pay, and Mrs. Ipswich is having a little cash flow problem.
Mrs. Ipswich, who just inherited $162,000, in part because of our efforts? We need more clients.
No, we need paying clients.
Okay, forget it. I'll take over on Monday. Until then, out of sight, out of mind.
So what are you doing this weekend?
Hiking in New Hampshire.
You know, if you want, you could come over to my house and watch the game.
Which game?
Your choice. I got a satellite dish.
You really should get out more.
My couch would miss me.
So much for the 8 o'clock meeting.
Good morning. Sorry to keep you waiting. Gene is not here.
He's the one who called a meeting for 8 o'clock Monday morning. Where is he?
He didn't leave word.
Here we go again.
Oh, man.
What's going on?
Gene does this.
Does what? He doesn't show up? He goes away?
Yeah, he'll go away on a mission of his own choosing.
For the good of the company, though it drives the company a little crazy.
Let me get this straight. The new hearing aid implant is finally approved for sale. We have an important potential client, Nationwide Health, the sixth largest...
Fifth largest.
The fifth largest health maintenance organization in the country. They're expecting a big presentation in 10 days, and we don't know where our CEO is?
We've learned to live with it.
I'd say that's a problem.
Maybe you're the guy to fix it.
All right. Sam, what's the story with the supplier?
I tried a new manufacturer, and the prototypes are substandard. The fax came in late Friday. I have to find someplace else.
Why didn't you go to Takashima?
We do a lot with them. It's good to spread your business around.
Sam.
I know.
Once we get the sale, we're into killer delivery dates.
I know.
Okay. Keep me posted. Don't worry, people. It's going to be fine.
Are you telling me this is standard operating procedure? It's unacceptable. Susan, I was hired to help a little successful company become a big successful company.
You got the job. You just have to do it.
How can I if the entire staff shrugs when their CEO vanishes?
He didn't vanish. Sometimes Gene gets it in his head to work an angle by himself. He trusts me to keep things running smoothly. Did you hear Sam in there? We don't have a supplier. I'll bet you anything Gene's finding one.
And he leaves everyone hanging?
You seem to be the only one hanging.
He's running this company like a hobby.
That's not true. He mapped out a presentation.
Which is a little weak, if you ask me.
We did ask. You gave your opinion. You were overruled. Look, I'm sure there are lots of areas where you can contribute. You don't need to worry about the presentation. Right?
Right.
Hi, Mr. Nyatt. I found out yesterday that I have to go into the hospital for some tests this week. Don't worry, it's not serious. I'll let someone know you'll need a temp. Sorry about the short notice. Bye.
Gene, just confirming our lunch tomorrow. 1 o'clock at Cornucopia. If I don't hear from you, I'll assume we're on. See you then.
What is that thing?
That thing is a listening device.
Why are you bugging our phone?
Just making sure it works. Needle in a haystack, how may I direct your call? I'll see if she's in. Who's calling, please? One moment. Jack Sidney.
Off. Test on the tello. Hello, Jack. I'm doing just fine. Busy, very busy. How are you? Well, it hasn't been that long. Yeah. So to what do I owe the honor? Really? Any particular reason? Why not? Sure. Do you know anchovies on Columbus Ave? 7? See you then.
That was Jack Sidney.
Yes.
The ex-boyfriend, Jack Sidney.
Yes.
Do you want me to beat him up?
No.
What did he want?
He wants to go out for a drink.
No.
Yes.
You're not.
I am. He has something to tell me. I can handle it. Maybe he wants to apologize.
Yeah, that's a real possibility. Anchovies?
Don't even think of showing up. Needle in a haystack. How may I direct your call?
I learned to swim this year. Can you believe it? Everyone I know learned to swim when they were little. How did I get this far without learning how to swim? I'll tell you how. I grew up in a hiking family. Summer outings were never to an ocean or a lake, but up a hill along a trail, surrounded by trees with the firm ground under our feet. This firm ground idea came up in my very first adult beginner class in swimming. Can I learn to swim without getting my head wet? My instructor said yes, this was possible. Can I learn to swim without lifting my feet off the bottom of the pool? She looked at me. I was going to be more of a challenge than she thought. I made remarkable progress in the shallow end of the pool. I actually got my face wet. I got my feet off the floor. I kicked. I used my arms. I was swimming. I was ready for the big step, swimming not across, but lengthwise, you know, where the water's over your head. You can put your feet down all you want, but that won't help you much in the breathing department. My instructor was supportive. Stay calm, stay focused, she said. You can do it. I steeled myself. Calm. Focused. I pushed off the side of the pool. I said to myself, stay calm. Stay focused. You can do it. I wonder if I'm over my head yet. What if I need to put my feet down? Where's the side of the pool? I can hold on to the side. Where's the side? I flailed in the water. My head submerged, then popped up, then submerged, then popped up again. I couldn't figure out where I was. So I inhaled underwater and coughed into the air. My hair swept around me like a fishing net. I couldn't see, I couldn't think, I couldn't breathe. My instructor got to me immediately. I was moving like a giant egg beater, just waiting for my life to flash before my eyes. Gently, firmly, she handed me over the very short distance to the other end of the pool. From panic and despair to triumph. Me? Yeah, I can swim.
Tess, you look terrific.
Jack, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Great. How's Kate?
We don't see each other anymore.
Oh,
I guess I'm not very good at relationships.
I guess not. Is that what you wanted to talk about? How bad you are in relationships?
No. No, I need some help, and you are a detective.
Oh, well, are you in trouble?
No, but Well, can I tell you what I know? Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
A couple of months ago, I started with a new company, Indica Biomedical. It was a big move for me. They want to restructure. Anyway, this morning my boss didn't show up for work. No one's heard from him.
I hate to be mundane, but it's usually something very simple. Vacation, illness, traffic.
Thank you. All the usual stuff is out. His wife is away at some spa, and no one at the company seems concerned. They say it happens all the time.
That this guy doesn't show up.
Gene Nyatt, yeah.
Alcohol? Drugs? Gambling?
They swear he's an upstanding guy. I think it's weird.
Why don't you believe it's a harmless absence?
We're about to give the biggest presentation in the company's history in less than 2 weeks.
Weird.
One thing I do know is that Gene has lunch plans with someone on Tuesday, tomorrow. Do you know Cornucopia?
Fancy. Who's the someone?
I don't know. You think you could just see if Gene turns up?
We could do that. If you can afford us.
That's not a problem.
Then we can do it. If Gene's not around, how do you know about the appointment?
He mentioned it to me last week. We were trying to schedule something. I wrote it down.
Okay. Cornucopia. 1 o'clock.
Janice Berlin for Gene Nyatt.
Mr. Nyatt's not in.
Janice Berlin of Business Magazine. Dan Sonoma, photographer. We have an appointment.
I'm sorry, he's not in.
Where is he?
I don't know. I'm a temp.
Perhaps you should find out. I'm sure Mr. Nyatt would be very upset if he were to miss this interview.
Pardon me. Can I help you?
Janice Berlin of Business Magazine. We have an appointment with Gene Nyatt.
I see. I'm Matt Webster, marketing. I can assure you Mr. Nyatt is very excited about this opportunity.
Anyone hear from Gene yet? Anything? Telegram, smoke signal?
Sam, this is Janice Berlin, a reporter from Business Magazine.
Oh. Hi.
You were saying? Where is Mr. Nyatt?
Away
Death in
on
the
business. Family business.
I see.
Hello. Yeah. No, he's not. Well, if I knew that, I'd be running the company. Listen, Jennifer, we're dealing with a little situation here, all right?
We're so sorry you were inconvenienced. If there's anything I can answer for you, please don't hesitate to ask. Or someone will call you to reschedule as soon as possible. I can see you out if you like.
Thanks for your help, Sam.
How many times do you think Tess told me to be at the restaurant at 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
I don't like it.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get a retainer right away.
It's not that.
They're a successful company. They're good for the money.
It's not that. I don't like Jack Sidney.
Neither do I.
Are you sure?
I hate the fact that I have to be in court.
I know. I'd offer to trade places, but I'd look like hell in that skirt.
If I'm not in the office, come find me.
I will. Go, you're gonna be late. 1 o'clock. Time to turn on that Gaynor charm. Hi, how are you?
Sir,
I wonder if there's a reservation for Jean Nyatt today?
may I ask who you are and why you want to know?
May I ask why you want to know why I want to know?
Mr. Nyatt's a regular customer. We cater to a very exclusive clientele, so we do our best to protect them from intrusions. From the press, for instance. Mr.
Well, Ingrid, my name is Winthrop, Mr. Winthrop. I'm supposed to join Mr. Nyatt and his guest to discuss some very big, very confidential business. Now, if you could just show me to his table, and I hope I can rely on your discretion.
Absolutely, Mr. Winthrop. Mr. Nyatt hasn't arrived yet. Mr. Tanner has.
That's Tanner, T-A-N-N-E-R?
Yes.
I've got to make a phone call. No need to mention this to Mr. Tanner. I'll be right back. Bingo! Now I've got you. Damn! Isn't that interesting?
Welcome back to Sunday Forum. Let's talk about flex time. A company outside the city wants to relocate into the city, but before the employees will agree to move, they want flex time. What should the company do?
John, you make it sound as if flex time were some kind of whim. In fact, it's a good solution to their problem.
Whose problem? Maybe flex time is not a good solution for the company.
Here's the situation. The company says it values its employees. Most of them are local people from the town the company's in now. If the company moves to the city, traffic will make the commute almost 2 hours each way.
Flex time allows the employees to come in early and leave early, or come in late and leave late. And that way they will miss rush hour.
I'll tell you what else they miss. Part of the workday. What if a customer calls with a question at 9 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and the person that can help the customer isn't around?
Let's get back to the question of what the company should do.
They should do what they should have done in the first place. Acknowledge the burden that this new location places on their employees, and then work with them.
I think the company should arrange for flex time.
If the company can introduce flex time gradually, and they really do value their workforce, it's probably in their best interest to do it.
Larry, what do you think?
Send out change of address forms. If an employee doesn't like it, he or she doesn't have to stay. Get a new job. The company can hire someone who's willing to deal with the hassle of getting to work, which, by the way, everyone else has to do.
Larry's ready to go back to the 19th century.
Thank you all. Next, the governor's new campaign spending guidelines, pro and con.
I thought I'd find you here. Hot in the haystack, huh? How was court?
The case is continued again. I go back in 2 weeks. So, did he show?
No, but his lunch appointment did.
Who was it?
A Mr. Bob Tanner, president of Tanner Health Technologies, Inc.
Yes?
Tanner Health Technologies. Tess, Nyatt was having lunch with the competition.
Or not having lunch, to be accurate.
Whatever.
How'd you find out who he was?
Deft handling of the maitre d' at Cornucopia, and I followed Tanner.
You got to tail somebody.
I did. Or one of them, anyway. There was also a mysterious woman who came in and talked to Tanner right before he left. I got pictures of both. Yes, it's been a very productive afternoon.
Eugene Nyatt left for Tokyo on Sunday night.
What? How did you get that?
It's been a very productive afternoon. I asked myself, what can we check? Hospitals, jails. A friend of yours in the police department helped me with that. Nothing came up. And then I thought, Japan.
Japan?
The note paper was from a Japanese company, Takashima. Maybe Indica does business with them. Then I did a search of flight manifests for the last 4 days.
You can't do that. You don't have security clearance.
My contact does.
Oh, you've injured my ego. I feel strongly you should take me out to dinner. So he's in Tokyo?
He went to Tokyo.
Did you find out why? Well, our client Jack should be very pleased with what we've been able to dig up. Do you want me to call him?
No, I'll do it. Will we have pictures tonight?
Maybe.
Okay. Pizza. My treat. You are such a baby.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for getting back to me so quickly. I really appreciate it. So, tell me.
We went to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Nyatt did not show up.
Damn. I guess it was a long shot.
But the person he was supposed to meet did come.
Who was that?
Are you familiar with Tanner Health Technologies?
Yeah. They keep me up at night.
Why?
Big competitor. They're the kind of company that would love to swallow up Indigo. Why?
Your boss had an appointment with Bob Tanner. That's him.
Yeah, that's Tanner, but I'm amazed. Why would he? Well, I never suspected something like this.
Would it be unusual for Jean Nyatt to talk to him?
Maybe not under normal circumstances, but given the situation, don't you think so? His company is about to take a giant leap. He's missing in action, unaccounted for, and he hooks up with another company? It's unreal. Do you know what this could mean?
It could mean a lot of things, Jack. Believe me, I've learned not to assume anything.
There's proprietary information at stake. He could be selling us out. The nationwide health contract could be a lure for a prospective buyer like Tanner. Well, there are a million reasons not to get hooked up with this guy, and what do? I get a job with him.
Slow down, Jack. You're jumping to conclusions. Now, a woman met Tanner at the restaurant. It's possible she told him Nyatt wasn't coming. Do you know her?
Is this a joke?
No. Who is she?
I gotta go.
There's more.
Yeah, call me, okay?
Indica Biomedical, Jack Sidney's line. I'm sorry, Mr. Sidney's not in the office at the moment. I can take a message. Tess. DONATELLO. Number. And message. Your friend is in Tokyo. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Susan.
There's a fresh pot of coffee in the kitchen.
Oh, goody. I could really use a cup.